Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you there's a movement sweeping across the West, not just growing, but transforming lives? A movement built on discipline, purpose, and unshakable strength. A movement that turns confusion into clarity, loneliness into brotherhood, and struggle into power. In a world drowning in distractions, people are waking up searching for something real, lasting, and deeply fulfilling, and they're finding it in a place most never expected. Stay with me, because by the end of this speech, you'll see why Islam's rise isn't just happening, it's unstoppable. And the reason? You won't believe it. Success, real success, is never random. It doesn't happen by luck or by chance. It's built on discipline, on structure, on the ability to stay committed when the rest of the world is distracted. And that's exactly why Islam is drawing so many people in the West. In a time where instant gratification is everywhere, Islam stands out because it demands commitment. It's not just a belief system, it's a lifestyle of discipline. 5 daily prayers, fasting, self-control, and personal accountability. These are not just rituals. They are a mindset, a training ground for mental strength and resilience. Pause for a moment and think. How often do we let distractions pull us away from what truly matters? Social media, entertainment, endless notifications. These things steal our focus, rob us of our energy, and leave us feeling empty. But imagine having a system that brings you back to clarity 5 times a day. A moment to reset, to realign, to block out the noise and focus on something bigger than yourself. That's what Islam gives its followers, a structure that protects them from chaos. And here's the powerful part. Discipline doesn't restrict happiness, it creates it. Because true happiness comes from control over your own life. It comes from mastering your emotions, your habits, your actions. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you have to live with purpose and joy. If you're looking for happiness, for wisdom, for a life that actually means something, you don't find it in shortcuts. You find it in structure, in commitment, in discipline. That's why Islam is growing, because people are waking up to the truth that a life without discipline is a life without true happiness. Loneliness is a silent epidemic. In a world more connected than ever, people feel disconnected. Social media gives the illusion of friendship, yet so many go to bed feeling empty, unheard, unseen. But imagine walking into a place where you instantly belong. No questions, no judgment, just family. That's what Islam offers. This isn't just about faith, it's about brotherhood and sisterhood, a deep, unbreakable connection that goes beyond words. When someone becomes Muslim, they don't just adopt a belief system, they gain millions of brothers and sisters overnight. Strangers become family, doors open without hesitation, and support is always there. Think about it. How often do people struggle alone? How often do they feel like no one truly understands them? Now, imagine having a built-in support system. People who will pray with you, stand by you in difficult times, and push you to be your best. A place where race, wealth, and status mean nothing, because everyone is equal before something greater. And here's something to think about. Happiness isn't just about success or money. It's about belonging. It's about knowing you have people who will celebrate with you in your victories and stand with you in your struggles. That's why Islam is growing, because it fills the void that so many feel in their lives. Let's reset for a second. When was the last time you felt truly connected to a group of people who uplifted you? Not just casual friendships, but a real deep connection. That feeling of unity, of standing together, of being part of something greater. That's what makes life meaningful. That's what Islam provides. What if you had everything? Money, success, admiration, but still felt something was missing. It happens more often than people admit. They chase goals, reach milestones, yet deep down, a question lingers. Is this all there is? That's why so many people in the West are turning to Islam, because they're searching for something real, something deeper than success, deeper than wealth, deeper than temporary happiness. Look around. Society tells us that happiness comes from possessions, from status, from chasing momentary pleasures. But if that were true, why are anxiety and depression at an all-time high? Why do people who seem to have it all still feel lost? Because material success can never replace spiritual fulfillment. And when the world fails to provide meaning, people start searching elsewhere. Islam gives people exactly what they're missing: clarity, purpose, direction. It answers the biggest questions. Why am I here? What's my purpose? What happens after this life? It doesn't leave room for confusion. Instead, it lays out a clear path, a way to live that brings both peace and fulfillment. Let's pause for a moment. When was the last time you sat in silence and asked yourself, what am I really chasing? Most people don't. They move through life on autopilot, following trends, seeking approval, hoping that happiness will come someday. But what if happiness isn't something you chase? What if it's something you build through purpose, through discipline, through a connection to something greater than yourself? That's why Islam is growing, because it doesn't just talk about happiness, it provides a blueprint for it, a way of life that makes every moment mean something. The power of mental toughness and resilience. Life will test you. No matter who you are, no matter how much success you achieve, challenges will come. The question isn't if you'll face hardships, it's how you'll handle them. That's where mental toughness separates those who break from those who rise. And that's why Islam is drawing so many people in the West. It doesn't just teach resilience, it builds it. Think about the strongest people you know. They aren't the ones who've never struggled. They're the ones who've faced pain, setbacks, and doubt, but refused to give up. That kind of strength doesn't come from comfort. It comes from a mindset trained to endure, to persevere, to trust in a greater plan even when life gets hard. That's exactly what Islam instills. Take fasting during Ramadan, going an entire day without food or water. It's not about deprivation, it's about control, self-discipline, and mastering your own desires. It's about proving to yourself that your willpower is stronger than your cravings. And when you train your mind like that every single day, you become unshakable in the face of life's challenges. Let's reset for a second. When was the last time you truly tested yourself, pushed beyond your comfort zone? Most people avoid struggle, not realizing that growth lives inside discomfort. But Islam doesn't just encourage resilience, it demands it. It teaches patience, faith, and the ability to keep moving forward no matter what life throws your way. That's why it's growing. Because in a world that tells you to chase comfort, Islam teaches you to chase strength. And true happiness, it doesn't come from avoiding struggle. It comes from knowing you can handle anything. People are tired of the noise, tired of the constant pressure to fit in, to follow trends, to chase happiness in places that never deliver. Deep down, they crave something real, something that doesn't change with the times, something that doesn't require them to pretend. And that's why Islam is growing, because in a world full of uncertainty, it offers authenticity. Think about it. Society's values shift every few years. What's right today might be wrong tomorrow. People are constantly being told to redefine themselves, to follow whatever feels good in the moment. But what happens when that moment fades, when the excitement wears off? That's when the emptiness creeps in. That's when people start searching for something solid, unshaken, unchanging. Islam provides exactly that. It doesn't bend to trends or adjust to popularity. It has remained steadfast for over 1,400 years, offering the same clear, unwavering principles. It gives people a foundation, a way to live that doesn't require them to constantly reinvent themselves. Instead of chasing temporary pleasure, it encourages lasting fulfillment. Instead of seeking approval from others, it teaches self-worth through faith and purpose. Let's pause for a second. When was the last time you felt truly at peace? Not entertained, not distracted, but deeply fulfilled. That feeling isn't found in what's temporary, it's found in what's eternal. And that's why more and more people in the West are turning to Islam. Because at the end of the day, happiness isn't about what you own, who approves of you, or what the world tells you to be. It's about finding something that grounds you, guides you, and gives your life unshakable meaning. The rapid growth of Islam in the West isn't random. It's a response to a world that offers distractions but no direction, connections but no true belonging, success but no fulfillment. People are waking up, searching for discipline, brotherhood, purpose, resilience, and authenticity. And they're finding it in Islam. If there's one thing to take away, it's this: a meaningful life isn't given, it's built. Built through commitment, strength, and a relentless pursuit of truth. May you find wisdom, happiness, and fulfillment on your journey. Good luck, and thank you for listening.